All right, I'm John Feitelberg, and this is the one thing I learned. This was 2006. Just got out of college, and I was missing my high school best friends. We're missing our favorite band, OAR. So I look up, I see that they're playing a show in Toronto. I hit up my two best buddies. One went to school at Boston College, one went to school at Hobart. And I was like, yo, OAR in Toronto. It's just outside. I'm right by it. I'm going to get tickets right now. You guys come up, visit me this weekend, and we're going to go hit OAR. Everyone's like, fuck yes, I'm in. Can't wait. That sounds dope. I quickly MapQuested what the drive would be like from Burlington to Toronto. And much to my surprise, it was 9 hours. I already bought the tickets, non-refundable, didn't have much money, so I had to go to the show. I call my dad up. I'm like, yo, real bad news. Just fucking bought tickets to like a small OAR show, and I have no access to get there. He says, okay, how about this? I have tickets to BC Virginia Tech Thursday night. Why don't you come down from Burlington, go to the BC game with my buddy at BC, and then you guys drive from Boston to Toronto. You go through upstate New York, pop in at Hobart. What an idea. Beautiful idea, Dad. So I get on a bus to get from Burlington to Boston. Bus takes a little break. I think it's a refueling stop, but they also let people off the bus to grab some food or whatever. I hit up Subway, and by the time I get outside, the bus is gone. I gotta get home for this game. So I start selective hitchhiking. I'm going up to random moms in minivans, being like, hey, are you heading south? Can I ride with you for a bit? Turns out, women at rest stops don't appreciate 18-year-old boys with bags of Subway and a backpack saying, hey, let me get in your car, lady. So I alter my plan and decide to start asking men who I think I could take in a fight. I settle upon this gentleman who couldn't have been all of 5'3". Long-haul trucker. He's from Peru. Didn't say anything. Barely spoke a lick of English, but gave me the sign to get in the car. So I climb on up the cab, first time ever in a big rig, felt awesome, until I open the door and it smells like there are 17,000 dead bodies covered in cat piss in it. It is awful. It is disgusting. And I'm just in there trying to hold it all in. This Peruvian gentleman doesn't speak any English. All he can say is, I like lesbians. That's it. That's all he says, and he says it repeatedly. It's not like a thing he says one time in passing and I acknowledge it, jot that down in memory and move on. He wants me to understand. He loves lesbians. He loves lesbians. We're driving through towns. He's pointing at signs going, you know Northampton? I said, I don't know Northampton. He goes, lots of lesbians. Unbelievable. Don't know how he learned this information. Just has the demographic map in the United States of America, finding out where there are a lot of homosexual women. I get close to Boston, get a cab from there, party all night at the BC game, and we decide we're leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning. Just get in the car, drive. I wake up in the parking lot at Hobart College with no cell phone and no way to get in contact with my friend. None of us know his number anymore. He's lost his phone too. We find him eventually, and then we ship out. Driving to Toronto. We don't have a hotel. We don't have anything. We just got 3 OAR tickets and a hankering for some crazy game of poker. Once we get to Toronto, it turns out it's a lot harder to find a hotel than we had imagined. The Holiday Inn sold out, Marriott sold out, all these places are sold out. So we make a pact. The very next hotel we see, doesn't matter what it is, we're staying there. Of course, the very next hotel we see, it was like $600 a night. And we're like, well, guys, we made a pact. We go in there, my buddy puts down his credit card. Go right to the liquor store, get a bottle of Captain Morgan's, because we're still high school age, basically. Start drinking. Go to the OAR show, have the time of my life. Me and my best friend get in a fist fight. I don't know why. We just fought each other in the middle of the street. Get back to the hotel, all sleep in the same bed, because we could only afford one bed. Wake up the next morning, and we're like, guys, what the fuck happened? We all check our bank statements. We all have no money left. It was all spent at this place called the Brass Rail. Turns out it's Toronto's premier strip club. We're completely out of money now. Like, we don't have a dime to our names. All of us overdrafted. We had to sprint from a cabbie on the way home. That was something we remembered putting the pieces together the next morning. We were trying to swipe room keys in the car and trying to trick him into thinking it was his cab that the swipe wasn't working on. He was like, no, you fucking idiots. Let me see the card. He's like, this is a room key. So we tried to give another room key. Tried to give him 3 room keys. And then we eventually, we just chewed and screwed in a cab. So now we're trying to think how the fuck we're going to get home. Because we don't have money. We do not have money for gas. We don't have anything. We just have a bag of weed that we don't remember buying. One buddy reaches out and shifts some funds around. He gets like $200. We're like, all right, we got to go home. So we get to the border with our $200 and bag of weed. And we're a few cars back behind a Winnebago. And they have the family emptied out of the Winnebago. And they're looking in like the child bikes baskets. seeing if there's anything in there. And they got Nana, Grandpa, 2 little kids, Mom, Dad, everyone lined up on the side. And we're like, fuck. If they are doing that to a family, like they're 100% checking the car of 3 hungover kids, and we have a bag of weed in here. So we all start passing out the weed to each other and then sprinkling it out the window very slowly. We finally get to the front where it's our turn to get checked. They just ask us to hold up our licenses. That was it. Didn't even get out of the car, didn't even took the license into their own hand. We could have kept that weed, probably sold it for money that we desperately needed. So we get my buddy back to Hobart. Hobart is directly across from Burlington, and I had an exam the next morning. So I had intended to take a bus from Hobart to Burlington, Vermont. Now it turns out that this bus does not go directly to Burlington. It goes down to Newport, Rhode Island first, then up to Burlington. It's a 24-hour bus ride. I'm not going to get home in time for my exam. I can't miss my first philosophy exam of college. My buddy says, okay, why don't you drive back to Boston with me? I'll get you a bus ticket from South Station, because those are cheap, and you can take the bus back home. I said, perfect idea. I love it. We get back to South Station at like 10 p.m. I'm gassed, I'm hungover, I'm beat to shit. I tell the woman sitting next to me on the bus, I say, ma'am, I'm definitely gonna fall asleep on this. Would you mind please waking me up when we get to Burlington if I should so happen to fall asleep? She says, don't worry about it, son. I got you. I got you like your mama got you. I said, thank you very much. I pass out almost immediately. I wake up hours later to her frantically shaking me, going, I forgot, we're here. I don't even have time to dust the fogwebs. I grab my bag, run off the bus. Not 30 seconds after I see those taillights take a right turn, I take one quick look around and realize I am not in Burlington, Vermont. I was in Montpelier, Vermont, about an hour south, give or take. So now I'm like, what the fuck? So I guess it's Main Street I was dropped off on, I don't know. I see one shining light, it's a hotel. I go in, I tell the guy my sob story, guy at the front desk. I'm like, look, man, can you just help me out? I don't even need a room. Can I just fucking sit in here, please? I'm in sweatpants and a t-shirt in like October in Vermont. And I'm like, man, like I got nothing. I got nowhere to go. I'm not homeless. I'm not gonna steal anything. And please, can I just hang out right in here? He says, you can't do it. Get the fuck out of here. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So I'm walking around with this backpack, freezing my goddamn nips off. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have to just be homeless tonight, I guess. On top of all this, a girl from my college had recently been killed in Montpelier. So like, I'm kind of thinking about that in the back of my head too. Where I'm like, son of a bitch, like, is there a murderer out here? What is happening? Go down an alley, remember I don't have my phone, call my buddy on a payphone. Last time I've ever used a payphone, last time maybe anyone in the world's ever used a payphone. I call him, and I'm like, bro, I'm fucked. I got nothing, I got no money, I got no phone, I got a t-shirt and sweatpants. I'm literally a homeless person right now. Like, what? Can you help me? And he's like, I can't help you because like you don't have any fucking like cards to wire money into. Like I got nothing for you. So I'm like, fuck me, man. And as I'm like just distraught, this car pulls up into an alleyway and just stares at me while I'm on the phone. And I'm like, bro, I think the murderer's here. And he's like, bro, you gotta drop the phone right now, go check that license plate, come back and tell me. I'm like, what the fuck good does that do, man? I just happen to know that license plate before they fucking kill me? Like what, you're gonna come solve the crime like you're Liam Neeson once I'm dead? What does you knowing the license plate do for me? Like nothing, absolutely nothing. So I said, bro, fuck it, I'm making a run for it. I'm just going. He's like, don't do that. I said, I'm just going. Fucking slam the phone and just start running. Bam, 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 huffing. Just running. I don't know how long I ran for. It's like Jason Bourne, just ran until I started shaking. I finally find the police station. I'm like, thank fucking God, these guys will help me out. Police station closed. They just closed it down in the capital of Vermont. I don't know if it was a holiday. I don't know what it was. There was just no one in the building. Door was locked, whole shebang. So I'm like, this is it. I'm finally fully embracing my homelessness. So I just sleep on a park bench right out in front of the police station because I figured if someone's gonna kill me, they're probably not gonna do it in front of a police station. About 7 o'clock in the morning, cop wakes me up. He's like, dude, what are you doing out here? I said, my entire story. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ, come on inside. Gets me inside, gets me a blanket, gets me coffee, I guess. It was a warm drink, but I don't drink coffee, so maybe got me a hot chocolate. And he's like, so what happened? I tell him the whole thing. He thinks it's a funny story, losing all your money at a strip club. I'm like, but listen here, officer, I got to get back to Burlington for my 9 a.m. class. because I got an exam this morning. He's like, all right, I will pay your 75 cents or whatever fucking price it was. They had a commuter bus that ran up to Burlington. Get on the commuter bus, get to Burlington, get to my classroom about 6 minutes before this exam starts. Hadn't fucking studied a lick. Not a thing. I didn't know what was going to be on this exam. Got a fucking 86 on it, though. And the one thing I learned is that philosophy is bullshit. You don't have to study. Just make shit up on the essay. Boom.